and welcome everyone. Today I'm going to talk about Java Ballerina and how to build cloud native application and host it using that. So let's dive deeper into it and experience that overall thing. Now to start with, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you a few things. Number one, the homepage of the Ballerina website. So ballerina.io, that's the website where you will find everything over here. One of the things you need to do is that you need to download the Ballerina. So to be able to download it, depending on which platform you are working on, you choose that and then download it. So I'm working on my Ubuntu machine inside Windows. That is Windows subsystem for Linux. So I kind of use this URL to install the package using dpkg. And then I will show you those command lines. So what I did, I kind of like went ahead and downloaded it using wget. And then once I have downloaded it to my local machine, I then ran the dpkg. So let me quickly show you those steps here. So let me show you by creating a folder. Okay, so I'll say mkdir demo yteam just to make sure that. And then I'll say mkdir. Inside that, I'll say Ballerina, right? And then go to Ballerina, and inside the Ballerina, I'm gonna show you those command lines. So I use the wget, copied the URL here from here, and I kind of, let's say, download it. So it gets downloaded in the same folder where I'm in. Once it is downloaded, what I basically use, I'll show you that file. So it is there. So basically I use dpkg -i for installation and then the file name. It's gonna require me to have the super user. So use sudo. So sudo, and then I'll say my password, and it's gonna go ahead and install the Ballerina runtime in my local machine, version 10.0. So I'm ready. Just to check whether my machine is ready, I will go ahead and say bal version. So Ballerina comes with a very rich kind of CLI. So you can see that it is now showing the Swan Lake update version number 10. I'm currently running 2201.10.0. There's a little bit of information here. You can see clearly visible. Now, what I'm essentially going to do is that I'm going to initialize a project by using this Ballerina CLI. If I initialize the project, necessary files will be created. So let's do that. So I'll use the bal init demo yt. Yt stands for YouTube. Okay. So if you just go ahead, all right. So I'll say bal new. Oh, that's fine. So let me see what else it has created. So it has created the Ballerina TOMOL. It should have been creating that project. So let me quickly see if I may have to do that. So let me quickly see. Bal new help. Right. So if I say val new my package, val new, right. All right. Okay, so let me use this. Let me create a service which is easy to execute. Okay, let me go back. And then I go ahead and then type it out. Let me put the screen a little down so that you can see it. A little down. So you can see that this is the URL. I'm gonna go ahead and create it. Ballerina directory is already within the Ballerina project. No, no, no. So let me go ahead and then go on top. Okay. So I'll say, let me make mkdir demo 2, demo 2. Then I will run this my service. So essentially, it it will create a folder called my service. If I go into my service folder, and then I see all the files created. So you can see that there are two files and one folder got created. So let me open this in my Visual Studio Code. So once I open this in the Visual Studio Code, the Visual Studio Code essentially opens in the same window. You can see that it is now loading up. I don't need a dev container, so let me close that. It's going to open inside my WSL because that is where I have created all the files. So all the files are visible. So TOML file holds the detail of the Ballerina thing, and then service bal contains a little bit of information about HTTP listener, right? So this is what you can see from the file which got created, right? So you see that HTTP listener is created. I'm using Ballerina HTTP. So these are all template generated code. I have not written anything. Let me kind of like minimize it. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to, let's say, delete some of the stuff over here. And I'll say, let's not use this. Let's clean this up. Okay. So I'm starting very fresh. So if I say listener and then HTTP listener, maybe I'll say my listener. Let's give it a name. And then I'm going to run it in port 9090. Okay. That's what this means. And when the listener starts, I want to listen the listener on various different ports. So the default port, let's say some help comes there, part of the GitHub Copilot. So the default port is hello, slash hello. So if I say slash hello, right, or let me just type it out for you so that it's helpful for explaining how then trying to fix the code. So if I say service on service slash on my listener, okay, that's the service. And inside that, I'm going to say resource function. And I say get hello. So when I say slash hello, this is what it's going to invoke. And then I say returns string. And then I end here by returning some message. Hello world. This is from service. So you basically get a string output from that. Like that, you can keep adding many more things like hi ballerina. Let's say welcome ballerina, something like that. So you have multiple slash hi slash welcome kind of path created. Now this is kind of ready. Now to run this, one of the things I'm going to use here is that I'm going to build this. Okay, so how do I build it? So I will use this terminal and I say bal run just to test it's running or not. I say service bal. Okay, So it's saying service line belong well. I mean, it's fine, right? So this is very well. Um, tick, 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 right. So I'll say bal build offline. If I do that, he's gonna go ahead and create a package for me, and then it's the target bin my service.jar is created. So it's kind of building. So there's no issue in terms of like whether this is gonna run or not. If I say uh, run service bell, I say build service bell. Okay, fine. So that's all right. How do I run it now? That's a question. Now, what I can essentially do is that because I have a jar file, I can say bal run dot slash target bin. What is the name? My service. It's saying that the address already is in use, right? 1990. So let me use say 1992. Okay. Let me build it again offline and then run the jar file. And then you can see that it's showing me to open the browser. Now this is where the outcome comes because I don't have a default path. So what I can essentially do, I can say hello and it shows the hello path. I can say hi, it shows the hi path, and I say welcome. These are the three I can create. I have created. If I type something which doesn't belong here, it's gonna go ahead and give me the 404 error, which essentially means it doesn't exist. Okay, that's all fine. Now the next thing is that I'm gonna run it in a container. Okay, to do that, it also comes with a very nice interface. So let me show you that experience in this terminal so that I have a better view. So let me go ahead here and clear it up. And I say, let me see if this is the one. And cat service. Is this the one? Yes, this is the file. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use the Ballerina CLI to build the Docker image. Instead of building the Docker file on my own, I'll use this. And to do that, use the same build command, but this time you say cloud equals to Docker. If you do that, it essentially identifies the code, figures out the Docker container, base image, and then creates the steps and then does all this. So you can see that there are like 77 steps which are added to this Docker file, right? It's a lot of work, and you need to make sure that you test it properly, that it works well. So you kind of like get that automatically. Now, the Docker image is ready, and it also gives me a little information here where I can actually run this Docker image. So if I can just go to Docker images, you will see an image called my service, which is just 23 seconds ago. That's this one got created. Now, if I've just copied the Docker run, which is basically transferring the port 1992, and then it basically allow me to open the thing in the browser. So let me open that in the browser. So let me go back to the browser where I had opened this, and then I can go to localhost 1992, and then it comes from the Docker image, right? So you can see that I kind of killed the previous instance of the run. So it is not running, but it is showing you here. And you can run it in a different port also by mapping a port, so changing the 1992 to, let's say, 8080, which is pointing to 1992 inside the Docker image, and hence you run. So basically now the image is running, it is giving me that output. Now what you can do, you can pretty much take this image and move it to cloud. Let's explore that feature. Okay. So if I go take you to the Azure, you need to first do one thing. You need to have a container registry. Either it could be a Docker Hub or Azure Container Registry. If you have Azure Container Registry, you need to have an access to that. You need to have a login created. So if you use the username and password, you will create the login and add it. And then what you need to do, let me just take you to ACR, Container Registry. And let me see whether I have selected the subscription. Okay. And then I go to home and I say container registry. I go there. All resources. Do I have anything? Let me see if I have any resource group. Okay, let me select the other subscription. Apply. No, no, no. I do not have any at this point in time, which is very interesting. So what I essentially can do, I can show you what exactly you need to do over here, and then finally move it to container registry. So let me do that. Okay, let me come over here, and let me say Docker login. So I've got a Docker Hub access. So if I look at the images which is here, that's the my service. I need to rename the image as per the Docker Hub repository. So the repository is my full name. So hence my image will be full name slash image colon tag. So let me rename that. So I'll say Docker tag. I choose the source repository. Okay. And then I choose this version that is latest. And I rename that to my Docker Hub repo name. And let's say hello service. I just rename it. That's fine. I mean, like, you can continue to have that, and then I keep a specific version. Now, if I say Docker images, it's going to show you that extra entry. It's not a duplicate one, so it is not going to create 203 MB of size inside this folder. So it is just a pointer, right? So you can see both the image has the same image ID. It's just an entry into the system, not much size, negligible size, and this can be pushed. So if I say Docker push, and I say this slash hello service version 1, it's going to go ahead and push it to the Docker Hub. So this is actual movement out of my dev machine is happening at this point in time. And once this is pushed, I'll be able to see that image in my Docker Hub. Let me see if I can log into Docker Hub. quick moment. Let me quickly check the Docker Hub login option. Should allow me. Come on. Yes. Now, if you see here in the Docker Hub, when I log in, I see hello. Is it done? Is it done? Yes, it is done. Hello service has come. Pushed less than a minute ago. So this is the image which now can be used anywhere. So even if you have, let's say, Kubernetes or Azure Container Instance or your own Docker, you can actually use this image version v1. And to do that, you will have to call this pull of this image, and then it's gonna go ahead and get you the files, and then it'll be ready for you. So it's kind of like kind of becoming like a default option. And when you run it from local, right, this experience is same. The only thing is that you will have a public IP address through which you'll be able to access this service. So that's the beauty of the cloud native, that you can run it anywhere. Once you have the container image ready, you can run any supported container platform across anywhere, on premises, cloud, private cloud, anywhere. So with this, I want to thank you and end this discussion. Have a great day.